Hello everyone, welcome back to FixTech Lab. Today, we're working on an OPPO F17 Pro. This phone has a damaged display flex cable, and as you can see, the flex has been torn from this section. The display connector is also broken, which prevents the display from functioning properly. Let's take a closer look under the microscope before we begin the repair. So, let's get started. Under the microscope, the damaged area becomes much clearer. You can see that the display flex cable is torn and several connection lines have been broken. The display connector also shows visible damage, which is why the display cannot function normally. Before starting the repair, the damaged section is inspected carefully from different angles. A detailed inspection helps identify the broken traces and ensures that the repair is carried out on the correct points. Now, the technician begins preparing the damaged flex cable. The work area is cleaned carefully, so the broken copper traces become easier to access during the repair. At this stage, patience is very important because these traces are extremely small and delicate. The damaged section is positioned under the microscope, allowing precise control throughout the repair. Every movement is performed carefully to avoid causing any additional damage to the already fragile flex cable. With the inspection complete and the damaged area prepared, everything is now ready for the microsoldering process. In the next step, the broken display flex connections will begin to be restored one by one. Now, the actual repair process begins. The damaged section of the display flex cable is positioned carefully under the microscope, giving a clear view of the broken connection lines before any work is performed. The technician starts working on the exposed flex traces with extreme precision. Every movement is slow and controlled because even the smallest mistake can damage the remaining copper lines. The broken traces are carefully prepared for reconstruction. This step creates a clean surface that allows the new electrical connections to be restored accurately. One by one, the damaged connection lines are rebuilt. Each repaired trace must follow its original path so that the display signals can travel correctly between the motherboard and the display assembly. After completing several repaired lines, the technician pauses to inspect the work under higher magnification. This inspection helps confirm that the repaired traces are properly separated and free from accidental short circuits. The repair continues on the remaining damaged traces. Every connection is completed with careful attention to alignment, ensuring that each line is restored as accurately as possible. With the flex cable reconstruction nearly complete, the repaired area is inspected once again before moving to the next stage of the repair. Now that the damaged flex cable connections have been restored, the technician carefully inspects the repaired area under the microscope. This final check helps verify that each reconstructed trace is clean and correctly aligned. The focus now shifts to the damaged display connector. Before installing or repairing it, the surrounding area is examined closely to make sure the motherboard pads are in good condition. The connector area is prepared carefully for the next stage of the repair. Every movement is controlled to protect the delicate PCB pads and nearby components. The replacement display connector is positioned over the motherboard with great precision. Correct alignment is essential because every pin must sit directly on its matching solder pad. Once the connector is aligned properly, it is held firmly in place while the first solder joints are made. This prevents the connector from shifting during the remaining soldering process. The remaining connector pins are soldered carefully under the microscope. Each connection is completed one by one to ensure a reliable electrical contact without creating solder bridges. After completing the soldering, the connector is inspected from multiple angles. A careful inspection at this stage helps confirm that the connector is secure and all pins are seated correctly before moving on to testing. With the display connector securely soldered in place, the repaired section is cleaned thoroughly. Removing any remaining flux residue makes it easier to inspect the solder joints and ensures the finished repair is neat and professional. The technician carefully examines both the repaired display flex cable and the display connector under the microscope. every solder joint is checked to confirm there are no loose connections or accidental solder bridges. After completing the inspection, the display is reconnected to the motherboard. This is an important stage because it allows the repair to be tested before the phone is fully reassembled. Now it's time for the moment of truth. The phone is powered on to verify whether the repaired display flex cable and the display connector are functioning correctly, and the touch response is tested across the screen to confirm that everything is operating smoothly after the repair. And there we have it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like, share, and subscribe to FixTech Lab for more professional mobile repairing videos.